Welcome to the Rev Room, powered by BizRev Advisory. Today we have the special privilege of interviewing Ruann from LabourNet. Welcome, Ruann.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Francois. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. We're happy to have you here, and we're excited about what you're going to share. So let's begin with the beginning, Ruann. What is LabourNet and what do you do?
So LabourNet, it's all in the word, it's all in the name, labor, right? But no, LabourNet, our nationwide company, we're over 600, almost 600 employees. We have over 22 branches. We specialize in your HR legislation and compliance. So we have your labor law, you need to be compliant with labor law. Then there's also your payroll, all your UAF, your deductions, everything should be compliant. Then you have occupational health and safety, your transformation like employment equity, skill development, and BEE if the needs are there. And then also POPI that also recently came up. So regarding compliance, we are your HR partner to help you navigate this difficult world of HR and the ever-changing legislation in South Africa.
Ever-changing.
Yeah.
Things don't remain the same, especially with regards to legislation and with regard to people going forward. So that's a big work, and it's a lot that happens within that very small, what you've just said now, it sounds a little bit, but it's actually quite a lot, and we are aware of that. And our listeners, we're here to help our listeners to understand more about what it is that happens and how do we get around it. But for today, can we talk about the special SDL, skills development, particularly in every business? What does it mean, and how can people use it and benefit from it?
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up. It's actually my background, and my niche is skill development or transformation, helping companies transform, upskilling their staff through skill development, and also if they need employment equity, to help them navigate that. So with skill development, SDL, so Skill Development Levy. So for every company out there, they need to comply with Skill Development Act by paying 1% of their annual payroll to SARS. And that means your payroll has to be about 500,000, right? If you don't, there's some fines involved. So we don't want to get there. But if you're paying this 1% to SARS, SARS takes that money and also divides it up between the National Skills Fund, which is 20%, and the 80% will go to the relevant SETAs. SETAs are your sector education training authorities. There's over 22 of them for every industry, like your agriculture's got Agri-SETA, your construction's got SETA. So there are different type of SETAs out there for every industry. Now, we want to help them take the most benefit out of this SETAs by actually applying for it, getting your mandatory grants in, your discretionary grants in, is actually getting a little bit back from the money you're paying to SARS anyways. Yeah. So let me break that down a little. Mandatory grants. Mandatory grants is something, if you submit a report every year in April, before the end of April, you get 20% back of that 1% you're paying. I mean, this makes more sense if a company's got a 20, 30 million payroll, you can get a lot of money back just for submitting a report. No.
So that means you get the money back if you submit a report, you get 20% of what you paid back.
100%.
So that's money for nothing.
Mandatory grant. It's money for nothing. You just submit your report. Okay. The type of report you submit is quite easy. It's just the SETA wants to give you that grant if you can provide evidence on all the training you've done in the last year and all the training you're going to do in the next. Okay. It's called a WSP or Work Skills Plan or an annual training report of what you've done in the past. Just submit a report, you can get a mandatory grant back.
Okay.
But wait, there's more.
Okay.
So what we also encourage our all the clients and companies out there listening, we want them to also apply for discretionary grants. Now this is completely at the discretion of the SETA you belong to, but we encourage everyone to apply for it. It's got a lot of other benefits for you. So are you aware of the 12H tax rebate? Have you heard about that one before?
Yeah.
So you work with it. So for everyone else, 12H tax rebate, it comes down to Learnerships. So with Learnerships, if you complete a Learnership, you'll get about 80,000 Rand deducted from your profits before tax. It works out to about 21,600. You are not paying SARS just by doing a Learnership. And there's where the discretionary grants come in. Let's apply for Learnerships. let's get someone for a year, accredited diploma on your premises, doing theoretical knowledge and getting practical experience and having a certificate on his CV forever, and letting the SETA pay for it and still getting a tax rebate from the government.
Wow, and you still got another staff member to help you to produce your daily or your monthly.
100%. So the SETA pays for everything. Whether it's you're employed, they pay for the whole learnership. Where if it's an unemployed, again, giving an unemployed an opportunity to come work here at your place, they also pay what they call a stipend. The stipend is more like their, not a salary, but also allowance, like a learner allowance that they'll be getting by just, getting to the workplace and getting their practical experience. And again, this is all paid for by the SETA. So we want every company out there, do your mandatory grants, get a little bit back, and then also apply for your discretionary grants. And it's not just learnerships you can benefit from. There's short courses, your skills programs, your first aid, firefighting, all this compliance training you need to do as well. Then you get bursaries, all right? So any postgrads, anything in a university, bursaries. You also get apprenticeships, your artisan related, very nice for industries out there in the manufacturing or any artisan related. Get some apprenticeships in for 3 years. And just for everyone not knowing it, you also get a 12H tax rebate for your apprenticeships, and this will be over 3 years.
Wow, that's brilliant. What would you say to someone that says this? You've said a lot now with regards to with the different factors, but getting involved, it's something we get quite a bit, getting involved and having all the learnerships and having the paperwork is just a headache.
Yes.
And so most guys say, I don't want to do it. I'm focusing on my business. It's so hard enough anyway doing what I'm doing. I don't want to still worry about all this stuff. What do you say to those guys?
So that's the thing. I've met a lot of clients and a lot of companies out there. Some of them, come up with this beautiful idea, and the mandatory grants, discretionary grants. Everyone's like, we've been down this road before. And I'm sure they all have. It all comes down with partnering with the right training provider, right? And moving here to Georgia and the Garden route, we've partnered with a national training provider, which is called African Skills, right? So we found things are a little bit different here. They're like a little bit more hands-on, especially in the agricultural industry, but a little bit more hands-on. So what they do for us is all that admin work, all that paperwork, showing up, helping you with all the registrations, everything you need. All the paperwork needs to be done so that you can actually get a learnership onto your premises, a learner or an apprenticeship or so on.
Wow. So Africa Skills, as an example, as a service provider, would do the paperwork for you and
100%
allow it to happen.
Yes.
Okay.
So they got the skills, they got the team, they got the experience, almost 20 plus years, 80 plus years experience in this game. Also very nice connections out there. So they help us initially to get the right learners, because again, remember, if you apply for unemployed, right? So let's say 20 unemployed in the agriculture sector, where's these people going to come from? So they've got this database of all these unemployed people that they can provide to you in the agricultural sector, and also providing a learnership, facilitating, moderating it, and assessing it.
Wow. Gosh, that's brilliant. So it's the whole package. And then LabourNet does the other. I mean, what do you guys do? You guys will submit.
So that's why we like to partner up and come in the middle. So we're consultants. We're the specialists in the field. So we act as your skill development facilitator, or what they call an STF. So as a consultant in the business, we'll like to do the training needs analysis. We'll find all the gaps. We'll compare it to the industry needs or the hard-to-fill vacancies in the industry. We'll come up with this plan of what your current staff needs regarding training or upskillment, and also what the industry needs. Then when discretionary grants open up, we can then apply for that with African Skills, filling that gaps.
Wow, so you thought of everything. You partner with, pretty much all the pieces of the puzzle.
We provide the answers, right? We've got solutions for you.
We like to hear that. We want the solutions and the answers. As entrepreneurs, you keep grinding away, and the last thing you want to do is get your hands dirty in that area, pretty much.
Of course. The problem, I just want to add on to that quickly. The problem is with companies out there, they don't want to, they call it take the risk, right? Because some areas they don't even know how to apply, where to apply, or who to go to. I would encourage you to come into LabourNet. We can help you on this journey. But then let's just start the process. Let's just start with one, start with two. Apply for a few unemployed people out there. Change the lives of the unemployed. The unemployment rates in the garden route is almost 25%, whereas the youth is almost 45%.
Yeah.
So like Elsie Harms says from African Skills, and that's why we're partnering with her, and we've got such a good relationship, is they said if every company out there just applies for a few unemployed people with discretionary grants, we can actually reduce the unemployment rates in the garden route, and not only the garden route, but nationally.
Yeah.
Just using the tax incentives which the government gave us to upskill our own staff.
Yeah. That's really good news.
Yeah.
So and it's obviously lucrative for every business to be able to have, all those that actually have SDF, pretty much particularly, or make a contribution to the SDL for that matter. So that's great. Any other advice you can give us in the skills development arena?
So I would also say some companies, they don't usually see the benefits themselves just yet. But then if you don't see the benefits, test it out, try it out. So what we're looking for out there as well with African Skills is what they call a host employer, right? Okay. So I've got a lot of companies that applies for discretionary grants. Now, let's say they only need 20 and they've got another 80 extra that they don't need on their premises. We can then find host employers out there where we can actually host these learnerships or apprenticeships. So if you don't want to apply for grants at the moment, you want to see how the game works, become a host employer. Give a young kid, a youth, an opportunity to come do his practical work experience on your premises. Remember, it's already paid for by the SETA. So that's initially what they call free labor on your site, getting practical work experience. And then when that person's done for the year that he works in for a learnership usually, you can then either absorb him into the company and see his worth in the company. And remember, you're not limited to the stipends you have to pay them. You can always top them up, top up their salaries, because again, we're not there to exploit anyone. We just want to give them opportunities in the workplace.
Yeah. Look, we've seen a lot of our clients who've actually employed the youth, and they've changed dramatically the bottom line, the company culture. So it's definitely a good thing to do, and it definitely will bear the right fruit if you apply it correctly, and if you employ LabourNet to do so. Yeah,
of course. We'll help you navigate that all difficulties of your compliance, but also connecting you to the right training providers and the needs that your company and industry needs.
Awesome. Thank you, Ruann. That was really great. It's insightful. So if you liked what you heard, like and subscribe. We enjoy hearing your comments or reading about your comments. Please place some comments in the chat. And if you'd like to reach out to LabourNet or Ruann, please reach out, search them on the internet. Ruann's LabourNet in George. Or otherwise make a comment, drop a comment at the bottom of the chat, and we'll reach out for you.